not always the person you are today.
Absolutely not.
Okay. About the age of 14, he was raised in California without a dad, got involved in gangs, and became a skinhead and a white supremacist, someone who hated another race of people. What kind of person were you in prison?
I was a really violent person in prison.
Hold that mic a little closer.
How's that? Is that better?
Better. You got a great voice for this. A violent person. What kind of? And I don't see that in you now.
No, that's all in the past.
Matt and I go to the same church. He's there every Sunday. He has a steady job, and through this class, I got to hear regularly updates on his son. So Matt's been in prison 4 different times. He found how many?
7.
7 different times. And found himself in solitary confinement after a fight, and he calls home. He called home twice. What was the conversation the first time? How'd that go?
The first time was just to let my mother know that I was gotten a little bit of trouble, and that I don't know when I'll be getting home after that. And my second call, I had a conversation with my son, who's here.
And how'd that call go? What was your son's question that was in this video to you?
Well, when I told him that it was going to be another 60 days before I got home, or another 60 days, he had asked me the question of how much longer now until I get home.
Let me fill in a couple details here. You're in a concrete block cell with this phone, and Matt's son heard the echo, and he knew his dad was in trouble. He knew his dad would not be making a phone call from that room with that echo unless he'd done something wrong again. So the question was, when you coming home now, Dad? Like, I know it's going to be longer. How did that change your life?
Well, I heard it in his voice, the sadness in his voice a little bit, and that really hit home to where I needed to do something to change to get home to him a lot sooner.
So what were the 2 choices before you?
My 2 choices was to quit everything I was doing and just to change the person I didn't want to be at the time, or to just continue what I was doing and end up most likely with a life sentence.
Or worse.
Or worse.
Yeah, Matt has told me he feared if he kept his life going in the direction it was, because you were a problem solver, right? With your fists.
Yes.
Yeah. That he could end up with a life sentence in prison or death in prison, and instead chose to be a father.
Yes.
To your son. What did that mean to you? What were the things that you wanted to provide for your son?
Just everything that a father is about. I wanted to provide the love, the stability, the comfort, everything I possibly could provide for him. I wanted to provide that.
You don't live together now?
No.
Can we have that next slide up? One of the exercises in the class was to get the fathers to write a letter to themselves from their children about their physical health and the things they wanted them to change in their own behavior. So do you understand? This is Matt writing a letter to himself in place of his son. This is his son's language. And so you see what this this slide says. It says, I want you, this is son to dad, I want you to stop chewing. How's that going? Still working on it. Okay, still working on it. I want you to stop chewing because I don't want you to get cancer again, but I don't want you to move back home because if you do, you'll see your old friends and start using drugs again, which could kill you or send you back to prison. Now, where did that thought come from?
Where did that come from?
That was not the first time when you expressed that in the fatherhood class.
No.
Your son had told you that.
He's repeated that numerous times to me in the past.
So here's a son who at age 8, when you made that phone call, was sharp enough to figure out there's something wrong here and you're not going to come home when you said you came home. You were going to come home. And he's also sharp enough to tell you this: don't come home because I know it's not good for you. That sounds like a pretty impressive young man.
Yeah, he's got his times.
I think we should meet Ian. Ian, would you join your father on stage? We just kind of want to have a photo moment here, you know, if that's all right. I'm not going to ask you to say anything unless you'd like to. You want to say anything, Ian? You want to say anything?
I don't know what to say.
He didn't know he was going to do this. This is brand new to him. Why don't you guys just stand up and give each other a hug? And Lori, would you stand? This is Matt's mom. What does your mom tell you in text quite often?
She always tells me how proud of me she is because of the life that I've turned around to become the person I am today.
So from a skinhead white supremacist to a man that she can be proud of. Amen. Yep. Amen. Thank you.